Hi everyone, this is me back with Petscop 12 Analyzation. This will be my second video on Petscop. But before we do start this video, I have to say thank you so much for the support on the last video. I got over 700 views on that video, which is amazing to me. It's no surprise to the fact that I did make a video about something really popular, but I'm just glad that a video that I took some time to make finally became popular. But anyways guys, no more of me talking, let's get straight into the video. Petscop 12 was uploaded on the 4th of January 2008. When we go into this video, it cuts into Paul then playing the demo again. Now, when he cuts in, he's in the Quinter's room. Now, when he goes over to the reflection, there's no reflection there. It's just the same box. He walks around, and what I find odd is when he's walking, he seems to twist around a lot. Like something else is controlling him on the other side, or it's the game itself. I'm not sure. Now this is just weird. He walks over to the corner of the room, but then it cuts to him walking back in again. Now, when he walks over to the reflection, he sees a reflection of himself, only it's his same body, but his head has this weird red triangle. I think this is the same red triangle that he used to play music at the end of Petscop 11, and also the same triangle that you see right next to that green face in that darkened loading screen image, which I'll show now. And then after that, he walks over behind the kind of dresser of some sort and walks by the sign. He sits there for like a really long time and then walks away from it, like not reading it. He was thinking of reading it, but he didn't, basically. After that, he walks around the room a little bit, stares at his reflection, but afterwards he walks out of the Quitter's room down the short corridor. I find it weird that there's still presence here, even though he's been here before, but there is the little demo indicator, so that could have something to do with it. But what's really creepy, and this jump scared me when I first watched this video, is the fact that the reflection walks into him and disappears. Now, I thought that this was for a scary effect to scare whoever was watching the video. But I found out later on that I think it was the reflection basically doing the same thing as him, but instead he was doing it outside of the Quitter's room. So that means that he must have been following him down the corridor, and then eventually he walked into him, but his reflection disappeared, but the protagonist is still there. Paul then after that continues on, but you can definitely tell that him walking around definitely tells that whoever was playing probably got jump scared by that too. But he continues to walk down and sees the exact same passageway, meaning that this passageway must lead to the other side of the quitter's room, further reinstating my theory that the reflection followed him. He finds more presents, and he walks down by the hallway, but then continues on. And as he's walking down there, he finds a window with the opening door into the room. Now, in the window, you can see some kind of easel moving with some sort of paper on it, and it moves back and forth, but then he just walks away from it. Paul then walks back down the corridor, and he is greeted by a dialogue box that pops up saying, "Hi Bella," with the purple and white gradient. I will touch back into this because this matches up with Tiara, which I will talk about later. It goes on to say, "You're free. I've left these messages for you to look at in case you were ever rescued. So while you walk around looking for something to do, I'll come up periodically." I'm sorry, I can't say that. "When the messages run out, I'll be out of your hair forever and ever." Now, these messages are weird because we don't know who this is from, but whoever's talking is saying that the protagonist of the game is Bella. Now, I don't know why whoever this is calling him Bella, but more answers to come. Paul walks down the corridor, but it suddenly cuts to him looking at the grave for Michael Hammond. He walks down to collect the next set of presents, but a dialogue box pops up, the same one as before, and it says, "You've apparently been running Petscop nonstop for 553,758,221 seconds, or 153,822 hours. Note that the seconds is marked in red and the hours is marked in blue. And the red quivers very violently, but the blue quivers less violently. The dialogue box stays open for a really long time, and then he finally moves on to say, "That looks dubious to me. What do you think?" Dubious, I looked it up on Google, basically means doubting. So basically, whoever is there saying, that sounds kind of weird that you've been running it for that long, basically. Paul stares for a really long time after that message, but eventually walks out of the graveyard. He then walks into the dark chasm that we have seen before. He walks through a narrow doorway, and as he's passing by what we've seen before, the good grief and alas, he gets a dialogue box the same as before saying, "Are you still sitting on a chair? Can you still look around the room? Is there still a room?" And then it closes. I don't know if this is directed towards Paul in the game, or it's directed towards the person playing the game, Paul, because, I mean, they mention, "Are you still sitting on a chair?" So I don't know if they're being like, "Are you still sitting on this chair playing this game?" Almost like it's breaking the fourth wall. Paul walks past the good grief and alas and picks up some presents, walks out into the unfinished area, comes back in, and the dialogue box once again pops up saying, "This is the child library. You're not family, so I didn't add your traits to the face system. That means I didn't add your eyes or your eyebrows or your nose." And then it stops like that. At one point it does say the thing about "I didn't add your eyebrows or your nose." At first I thought like this was basically indicating you don't have eyebrows, you don't have eyes, you don't have nose, but obviously you do have eyes and stuff, so this may be a little far-fetched, but it's a thought. All then what it looks like walks away from the child library, past the good grief and alas, but then it cuts to him walking out of the dark corridor into that generator room and exits the under the new maker plane basically, and enters the new maker plane. The door is facing at us, and when he walks up there we see once again the green guy. I really don't have a name for him right now, but Paul kind of walks around him for a little bit, and then eventually the dialogue box starts popping up again saying, "Don't get lost." And that was it. Then the green guy starts moving again, and then starts walking straight up, and then just freezes all of a sudden. It's not that he stopped, he actually froze, because you could see his feet are still stuck in place. He just gets stuck there. Paul just walks around him like, why, basically in confusion, like, why is he stuck? And then eventually walks away. You can also notice too that Once again, Paul, while walking, is twisting around a lot, like before when he was in the quitter's room. I'm not sure why this is happening once again. This is this is a really strange episode. So I stopped that clip a little short because he's walking down the New Maker plane, and then dialogue box once again pops up saying, "Happy birthday, Bella," with the same purple and white gradient. And then after that, he sits there for a really long time, and then it switches to another dialogue box, it looks like, but it immediately cuts right afterwards. The last frame I saw before it cut out was that was it, and I'll show a picture right here. I mean, it's just I don't really know what to make up, like I am or something, but I'm not sure why it cut out. It then shows Paul walking towards the camera on the New Maker plane, and the dialogue box for the final time shows up in the video saying, "I'm calling you Bella because that's who you are." Now, once again, like I said before, I'm not sure if this is talking about Paul in real life or Paul, the player in the game. Sits there for a short amount of time, and then it goes to the next saying, "You might be confused to what happened. I was over-eager before and started calling you Tiara, so now we know that Bella and Tiara are the same people. I created a space in the menu for you, still unused now. Then I put you inside the machine and played the second movement of Stravinsky's Septet on the needles." I looked this song up, and I actually did find it, and I'll go ahead and play a short part of it now. So yeah, just any normal sympathy music. I'll leave a link in the description for that song, and credit to Damon J.H.K, sorry if I butchered that name, for the video. And then it goes on to say, "I played it wrong, but that would have been okay. You hadn't given up halfway, you would be Tiara. This is not what happened, and now I'm gone." And then it ends with him going into the menu. The last frame I saw in the menu was same as before, except the message was demo recording. So yeah, it's a recording of the demo. But yeah, then the video just ends like that. One thing I do want to say before ending this video, we remember the song that Paul plays at the end of Petscop 11. I did try to match that song up with the Stravinsky Septet, and they don't match up. It does kind of sound like they match up at first, but then it obviously shows that they don't match up. Once again, guys, like last time, thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you for the support on the last video. And yeah, let's just hope Petscop 13 comes out. I will see you in the next video. God, this video took too long to make.